So, welcome to the fourth part of the Advanced Page Applications tutorial, Course 1 Plain Query-Based Application. So, we're in the fourth part, which is the rendering page and making sense of configuration stuff, which, in a sense, technically, fifth part is related to the fourth part because we're going to render page based on the configuration file that we're going to create. So, actually, I added more here in the pages, which is in the pages part of the UI. I actually made it as not pages, headers, or footers, but templates. So that's one thing that I forgot here. Yeah, just want to have you. I missed it, which it should be templates and yep. Which on the other part it should be dynamic. PHP class here, file. So sorry for this. There should be header on the. Yep, in the sense templates should be here. We should be putting here the footer and the header. So footer and header. Yep, header, and there we go. Footer and header and footer. So what is the plan? So I added here the back, not only the pages, but also added here the backbones. So the backbones is where let's say that is the page processing pages, page back processing. Okay, back processing pages. Okay, headers and footers. So I actually created this, or I actually grouped it, these templates, these headers and footers to templates. Serverless, but it should be footers. Sorry for that. Footers and factor and headers. So I just press F2 to rename folders. So set this. What is this of templates? No, I mean the backbones. So these are the back processing pages first, wherein we have here that page HTML and then that PHP. So what's the sense? The PHP codes, the pure PHP codes per page should be separated from each views. Therefore, I decided to have the pages and the backbones be call this the UI backbones and the UI pages be separated because for code's sake, for code organization's sake, we need to organize our code. So footers here and headers. Right now, what we need to have here is that the configuration file, which is like I've said a while ago, that it will be related for the fifth part of making sense of configuration stuff. So the config file here is quite different. Because why? Because it's a PHP file. So we're going to create pages that config.php. Yeah, that's configuration file, which will contain the thing that is about here. That let's say that it's if not defined. Okay, then here I'm going to put config underscore pages, then define. Sorry for this. Define config pages value is so this is the part, this is the page name and the page file, somehow related to JSON, but I guess this one is quite pure PHP. So call this yep, we need to put here a a constant from. So for example, there is a page name, and we should have here the name of the file. Okay, so the backbone, which is the backbone file with the home.php for example, the name of our page is home, then the view or the, okay, I guess it's better if we put it to views. Just forgot it. Yeah, I guess that's much better. So it should be views. So you see there is a lot of revision for ideas, because that's programming. View, it should be home.html, and the footer, okay, the footer, the header, the footer, it's regular. Okay, let's say that it's default that HTML, and the footer that HTML, footer that default that HTML. Now there are a lot of stuff that we need to fix in this code, okay, because that's what I'm applying before to put it up here, like login that PHP, login that HTML. Okay, that's this part. That's my plan before, but right now I have a new integration here. This part should not be string, it should be a constant. Why? First of all, for IDE's sake, it should be constant in the sake that we're going to use constants with IDE that integrates with the IntelliSense. So if it has code completion, at least we can easily determine or not have somehow like extra space there. If you forgot, oh, I just have here the mistake in typing the string or the key name. That's why I suggest you that you put up utilities here, and let's put up a PHP class. Let's name it pages, then the namespace is utilities. Well, if you still don't have namespace, then you can just type it here. Okay, the name of the folder. Okay, so like I said, these utilities, this namespace, it should be the folder of the name where it lies. Okay, finish it. Pages here, so description pages, utility class for page management. There you go. One more thing that, like I could say, why NetBeans has one of the best advantages is author. We can add author here so that you can easily determine which who created that file and who authored it, right? So constant here, put it here as constant backbone, constant, or on the other part we could use some sort of thing like constant backbone there. I'm sorry for that. Yep, that's it. Backbone views, view. Okay, so backbone view header footer. Okay, view is equal to 2, then header. I'm sorry for this. Header is equal to 3, then footer is equal to 4. Okay, yeah. So that's constants that we need to have, and right now we can add it here. Like, let's make use of this. Then this part, let's say that we're going to, oh crap, sorry for that, just hang up. So use utilities. I don't know if this will work, but let's try. Utilities backslash pages. Then here let's try pages backbone. Okay, this one, let's try it. View pages. The other one is header. Okay, pages. The other one is footer. So let's try another way. Or and this is it. Login array pages, backbone, login.php pages, view, let's make it as login.html. Okay, so what's the next logic here? Yep, that shouldn't be yep. You're done. So pages, backbone view. So this the login, if I'm going to be asked, there should be a default .html file here. So that's possible. So for the meantime, let's not tackle about that. Let's tackle about the pages code config, how we're going to utilize it to our application. So home.php here, home.html. Now in these pages we need methods that will process our stuff. Public static function get page file, get view file, sorry for that, get view file, then page here. So yep, if you're going to look for the page file, the page to configure PHP where this stuff is located. So where is the view file here, something like that. Where is the so the page, so we're going to look for the config pages here that will load our request. But the thing is that if we're going to utilize this config file, how we're going to access this constant config pages? So it should be located in the index.php. Now this is our startup, am I right? So if this is our startup process, okay, if this is startup, then we should put it here, load configuration files, am I right? So if we're going to use a function here that is load config or php config, okay, if you're going to load or config php like that, okay, then the name of the configuration here, then I guess we need another common file that is what we call configs .php. Yes, okay, that's it. So in the configs.php we need to put here the function named C. So like what I told before, functions in common should start with C underscore load config php. Okay, why config first before php? Well, I'm going to tell you that later. Here the config name or the name of the config, and here we're going to load up if $name, okay, here we go, file exists. Okay, here if the, so here if the that slash config slash, so slash $name, then dot config that php exists. Okay, so this whole crap, this whole thing should be located here in the path. Then they're going to have here that if that path exists, then we're going to load it. I call this require once path, or I guess it's better that we put it here in a sense like this. No need to go if, because the required ones will throw an error if the file does not exist. And the other one is a c load config underscore ini. That's what I'm told. Sorry for that. Chomasi. Function c underscore load underscore config underscore ini. So the name of the ini file. So this one loads load a PHP configuration file. And the other one is load an ini configuration file. So both are loading page configuration files, but in the sense we have two types of configuration files. The first one is the PHP file, a PHP configuration file, and the other one is the ini or ini configuration file. And in the sense, we created config so that if, for example, we're going to call it, so we just type load config ini and config PHP. So in a sense, the functions arrangement in our IDE is not scattered. I mean, it's alphabetically sorted. So if you have config ini, config PHP, we can easily see what types of configuration loading methods we need to use. Let's make it C load. So you just need to copy paste it here, and instead of config.php, it should be .ini. And there we go. Return parse ini file path. Why did I change it? So this one returns string array. Okay, mixed. The array of configuration contents, otherwise false if it doesn't exist. Except, and this one is parameter, name of the configuration, the same with this one. So here, in a sense, I guess there's no need to use this, but it's just for formalization. Okay. Here to get view file. How about if we're going to get the view file? So we're going to load the page or the config.php here. Therefore, here we need to have to load the startup items in this time here. Okay, so we have here the folder startup. Okay, so in the startup, let's create a PHP file that loads the configurations. Okay, so configurations here, loader. Okay, then in configurations we're just going to load startup. Sorry for that. Config and pages config.php. Okay, that's /config/pages config.php. And configurations, for me, if I'm just going to rename it, I guess it's better if we put it up config.startup.php, because these are startup items. And here we're just going to create a file that's bootstrap. So bootstrap file is something like that. It is not the CSS framework that we're talking about. It's about the file that loads everything in a certain folder, okay, in a certain section of your file. In a certain section of your application. So bootstrap here is require once I'm sorry for this. Sorry. Config start.php. So why am I putting again the it is being called, always being called on the root folder. Okay, it's always being called the root folder here in the index.php. Okay, it just happens that it loads that in this index.php is loading the system, this index.php is loading up this file that is called index.php, located in the includes of our libraries here. Okay, so bootstrap, so that's it. It's just going to load all the configuration startups. So close it and have it here. So in the sense, in the index.php, we need a startup function. Okay, we need another utility that is called startup. Okay, this is startup manager. So here, utility class of startup for startup manager. No, as a startup manager. Okay, so here we're just going to put it up here. Since this is a utility class, sorry for this. Forgot. Forgot that we should add the namespace. Okay, how do I do that? That kind of intelligence thing. I just press the control space and utilities. Okay, enter. Then now we need to put a start public static function and load configuration. Okay, so load configuration and startup. Okay, here it's just going to load the bootstrap and PHP. So that's it. Why? It's for formalization sake. So library startup. So this, and let's put again that slash. That slash is applicable for both Windows and Linux servers. So here load configuration. So and the index.php. So just let me just put this comment out. Register auto load method. Okay, and this is where things will happen. Startup. Load configuration file. Startup. Okay, load configuration. So see the configuration file here, it's much formal. Okay, so started with PHP here, and what's more, do we have to add more? So as you can see here, we're just speaking of rendering a page, but what happened is we get back from application initialization, because application initialization is a continuous kind of it is a process in development of your application that is continuous. So we just need to look back there, or just reiterate. So since you only have one configuration page, or not configuration page, configuration or PHP configuration file, so just need to close it up. So another utility class, no, this is a common function, a common class, a common PHP file, and this one's get view file. So we're going to load you can now call the config pages. Okay, so that's what I'm speaking of about, config pages. So if array key exists, if this page exists in config pages, so we just need to verify if there is a view file. What I mean, what's the view file in there? Okay, so page or view. is equal to config pages. Okay, the page, then the pages view. So as you can see, that's the reason why I'm telling you before to use a constant, not string, because this is much formal. Okay, got an error. Why? Unexpected. Config pages unexpected though. Okay, I guess I missed something here. Well, I guess it's better. I guess I just learned that constant variables, even if it's in an array kind, should not be accessed that kind of way. So config pages should be transferred to a variable, and there we can access each of this stuff through a variable. Okay, so that's it. Okay, just one more lesson, and we'll return it. Anyway, let's put in if again. If pages, yep, sorry for this. If rek exists, so if view, so if rek exists, or if this portion, so let me explain. So for example, we provided a home. Okay, let's add spacing for proper home. Yep, login. Okay, if this portion, okay, on this part, it just happens that we're going to explain this. If this page exists within this home or logins, or if it exists, this home, then we're going to check is this part of, is the view part of the home page exists, and if it does not, then we're going to return false. Otherwise, we're going to